Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Quinn Buckland, author of such books as The Engine Runs the World, The 1099th, and my latest release, Dead Man Walking. Today I am here with a writer tag, the WRITER tag, in fact. And I'm pretty sure that it was Mandy Lynn who started this one. I can't say for certain. If I can find the original, the original creator of it, then I will tag it below. Otherwise, I will just put the Mandy Lynn video down below, if I can even find that one again. I also have some special announcements at the end of this. Yay! So, stay tuned for those. Alright, so, we should just get onto this writer tag, now, shouldn't we? Alright, so, W. Where do you write? I write in my office. I would show it to you, but my webcam it has a pretty short cord, so I can't really show it. But, yeah, I mean, you can see pretty much a bunch of stuff in the back here, so, yeah, I mean, this is basically my office, just a bunch of stuff on the wall, some Pokemon stuff, some other nerdy memorabilia. I write on a desktop computer, and yeah. Moving on. R. Rituals. Do you have any rituals you have to do to write? No. No, I do not. Typically, I mean, I guess a ritual can be considered by, taking the dogs out every once in a while. Especially if I'm feeling if I'm feeling my writing juices not flowing as freely. I'll take the dogs out, it'll give me that little bit of downtime, but that's not really a ritual, I don't think. I think that's just more of a thing that needs to be done, and it just kind of helps. Otherwise, no, I don't think I have any actual writing rituals. I. Irritate. What irritates you most with the struggles of writing? Editing. I hate it so much. Oh, I hate it. I can deal with pretty much anything else. I can deal with the formatting. I can deal with the writing. I can deal with the imposter syndrome. I can deal with the writing block. I can deal with all this other stuff. Editing, I will find anything else to do if I can. It's such a slog. It's such a hard thing to get through that I always just have to force myself to do, which makes it not fun at all. Yeah, editing is the only thing that actually genuinely irritates me. T. Talent. What do you feel most talented at? Personally, I would probably have to say world building. I like to think that my world building is fairly vast, it's fairly intricate, and it's fairly interesting. I haven't got any feedback to the contrary, so that's kind of what I'm going off of. Also, characters. I find that I'm fairly good when it comes to creating characters, especially characters that people like. And again, just haven't had any news in terms of the contrary. People seem to like my characters. Hell, there's a character that I killed off, and she was a fairly minor character. And when she was killed off, my own mother called me an asshole because she loved that character so much. It was fantastic. It was amazing that just a minor character can have such a huge impact. Especially when it comes to their deaths. I'm not going to say which character or which book. You're going to have to, read my books for yourself and come up with your own conclusions. But no, yeah, that was just great. E. Essentials. What part of writing is essential to who you are? This is a tough one for me to answer because I'm not entirely sure. I think for the most part, what would be considered an essential part of writing for me is interesting characters and a good story. If I don't have a good story, then I really don't want to write it. If I'm not interested in what is going on, then I don't want to write it. Which also goes in line with the characters. If I'm not one with the characters, if I don't like the characters, or if I don't like where the characters are going, then I don't want to write this thing. So, anything that I have written, anything that I have released, it is because I either like the story, like the characters, or both. And I put the two as separate things because there will be one book later on, much later on, where I don't much like my main character because her morality is very not in tune with mine, and she does a lot of really, really nasty things. But the story is interesting. The story is good, so that's kind of why I went forward with it. Also to get it out of my head. R. Reflections. What is something you've written that is a reflection of something that has happened in real life? For me, nothing. I don't write based on personal experiences, at least in terms of like actions and reactions, stuff like that. I write based around emotion. I'll write the emotions that I have felt. So, let's take that book with the character that I don't particularly like and explore that one a little bit. Because I do like the story, and I do like the emotion that I put behind it. And that book has a lot to do with grief. It sort of explores how grief can be destructive. How grief can really, really harm not just the individual, but others as a whole when it is not done properly, when it is not explored internally in healthy ways. So yeah, I typically just write based around emotion, not actual experiences, because I haven't really done a whole lot that I think is story-worthy. At least not story-worthy for what I write. But anyway, that's all for the writer tag. Now let's get on to the reason why most of us are actually still here. The announcements. And, well, let's start with the biggest announcement there is. My next release. I don't have a release date yet, but the next book that I will be releasing is The City What Rules the World. It is the long-awaited sequel to my first novel, The Engine What Runs the World. And I say long-awaited because, I mean, this came out in 2018, so, I mean, it's been like, what, 5 years? Not even. 4 years? Not even. I say long-awaited because I've released 4 other books since. So, yeah. The sequel to this one will be coming out this year. I don't have an actual date yet. I'm still in the editing stages, and we'll be searching for beta readers very soon. So make sure to watch my Twitter and my Facebook for that. The other thing to note is that I have started a newsletter. This newsletter will pretty much be a lot of what pretty much everything that I announce otherwise, but it's done once a month, earlier than everybody else gets it, plus special information that is only available on my newsletter. This will include, knowledge about secret projects that I'm doing. The first few chapters of my book once they're ready. And more as, I continue to develop the newsletter. I will have a link for the newsletter down below. The next announcement, and I think this is actually the last announcement. I guess I didn't really have near as much as I thought I did. But the next announcement is that the Writerverse Storytime podcast will be continuing. Right now it is exclusively only on my website. Until I can figure out a way to get it out everywhere else without having to pay an exorbitant amount of money, because I really just don't get a lot of listens. And, well, it's not worth paying $12 to $20 a month for 4 people to listen to it. It's better to just have it on my website for free. People can listen to it. People don't have to download it or anything like that. They can just be like, hey, podcast, and go from there. And yeah, that's about everything. So, make sure to like, share, comment, subscribe, all that fun YouTube stuff. And have a good one, folks.